So nowadays, I see a lot of dance and dancers who are very taken with the idea of the competition and being able to perform the tricks and to do the routines. And they go through the moves and they're on the music. And I think, okay, so where was the dancing? And sometimes I urge my dancers that sometimes it's getting from the one trick to the next trick. How you do that is the dancing part. And it's beautiful to see somebody make that transformation of just putting the steps together like a chain of events as opposed to making a long sentence out of it. And sometimes that's the way I'll describe it to a dancer. I'll say, I kind of need you to put a period there and then start a new thought with this move. And so there's different ways you can describe it. And I know that the director I had at Houston Valley, Ben Stevenson, was fabulous about that. He would work with a dancer, and yeah, we'd all be doing the same steps. But he'd say, okay, can you take this line a little longer? Or can you hold that musicality out a little bit and then bring it back? So it's not just like 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, so it's something different. Then all of a sudden my eye goes, ooh, that's neat. You know, that makes me hear the music differently, see the movement differently. So there's that moment. And then there's that thing that takes over with a dancer sometimes where sometimes too soon. Like they haven't mastered it technically, but they're hearing the music and they're feeling the moment. And I'm thinking, okay, let's get the technique down first on some of them. And then the other ones that you'd find, they've got the technique and now I just get to watch it kind of unravel and they're going to find their way through this role. And if they're going off, I'll tell them, you know, like I've had dancers that come in and they come in and I feel like you don't realize the spirit that you bring and how it comes out of you. But as a choreographer even, I can see the spirit of my work and how it's life-giving or it's not. And so there's times when I've had to tell dancers, you know what, there's something going on with that relationship that we've prepared and we've worked on in this duet, where the way you do this movement looks violent and I don't want it to be. So there's ways you can interpret things, and there's some dancers that naturally come to that, and some you have to kind of tease along and, you know, kind of get there. It's like, come on, try something different with that. Okay, you've got 3 pirouettes down. Okay, so throw in a head roll or quit lifting your eyebrows. You know, those are technical things, you know. But then it's like, so can you think about turning the top and then landing? You know, so sometimes a dancer can use an image to inspire that, and some just need the technical part of it. Bring your left shoulder around. You know, then they've got it. You know, so it's another learning thing, but it's a beautiful thing when you see someone kind of take it. And sometimes it's an innate thing. And I feel like as a performer, I had that innate thing. I could make you believe anything about that character. And I didn't even really know the craft of how I was doing it. People would point it out to me and they'd watch it, because that's another craft, is learning how to steal from the best. You know, there was a woman, I loved her arms. I thought, I just want her arms and how she uses her fingers. And I would study. And then I thought, I can do that. Oh, I see what she's doing. You know, and I figured it out. And I got better. So that year was my year to make my arms look better. And that was, I thought, that's how I want them to look. And by the end of the year, they looked like that. And so you steal from the best. You know? So the ones you admire, you try to incorporate it and make your own.